Hi Libra, this is your February monthly reading from the time period of February 1st to February 29th, 2020. For those of you who are new to my channel or you're just visiting, welcome to Imani's Lightwork, okay? Before I go into your reading, I just want to put out a few updates. My Keys to Akasha section on my channel has two recent new cases covered. The Sarah Guiar, she was an aerialist for the Cirque du Soleil performance in Vegas, and I also covered Kobe Bryant's case. Okay, so please feel free to view those two cases for information that has not been given in the news. Okay, so let's see what energies are coming through for you for this time, Libra. Something's going on here with stealing an idea. Also, I just got that. I mean, stealing an idea, it doesn't have to be heavy stealing an idea. It could just be you may just want to borrow an idea. You may just want to borrow an idea from someone. You don't have to be stealing it, but that was what was coming through there. Somebody could be doing that to you as well. Someone could be doing that, moving that way with you as well. Okay, so the strength card energies underneath this is a sign of Leo, so you could be we work together. So if you dealing with a Leo, you may work directly with this person. They could be a boss, they could be another co-worker, business partner, etc. But they have good ideas. So the spirit is telling me that a Leo that you're tied to has good ideas about they have good ideas about how to run a business. They have good ideas in terms of financial literacy, or they know how to teach it. So when I said financial literacy, a Leo knows how to teach financial literacy, and you could be you may fall in line and being like a helper or an assistant to a Leo in that sense. But we should start a business. So when I say that, we should start a business. So it's you, it's a Leo, whatever other zodiac signs that you have where you may want to teach financial literacy. It could be like a group of people, kind of like a facilitation of some kind, like a conference. You may be asked to travel to go to a conference with a Leo. You yourself could just be doing that. Like you yourself may just be asked to go to a conference and do like do a facilitation on financial literacy and things of that nature, or you're just tied to a Leo that has a good idea into where that particular facilitation can take place in terms of teaching financial literacy to young people or adults, around the country, conferences and things of that nature. So it doesn't even only have to be financial literacy. It could just be it doesn't even only have to be that. It could just be, you may just be traveling for work. You could be a part of a business deal with a Leo, or yourself. You just need the strength to travel, or do something alone. Get good ideas, develop good public speaking skills, and facilitating and traveling around the country or around the state that you live in to do this kind of work. So you could be doing that in a partnership with the Leo. You could be doing that by yourself, but financial literacy is involved. Financial literacy is involved, and the financial literacy implies that one part of it implies that you travel alone. It implies that you find a partner to join you and teach you, or help you facilitate. It just depends on what's going on. And this could be pertaining to your workplace. This could be something that's happening with you in your workplace, your school, you're in school, your workplace, your school, whatever environment that requires you to travel around and facilitate, whatever environment that you're in. It requires you to develop your public speaking skills. You could be in the workplace and your boss is asking you, can you facilitate this? Can you create a financial literacy session for the new trainees that are coming into the workplace? But I don't know how to do. So when I said that, that could literally be something that you're being asked to do, but you also don't, the strength card energy underneath, you also don't know how to do. So they may need to, if you are not your own boss, someone may need to jump you through the hoops, help you get through the hoops, give you firsthand access into some type of training. Somebody needs to train you first before you can train others, is the feeling that I get. Okay, and this pertains to workplace environment, business deal environment. You have people coming into a business deal that you may need to train, and you're being asked to train those people. But something is new. It's February energy, so it may. That's why I said I don't know how to do. I don't want to do by myself. I don't have the idea. You want to borrow some type of idea into how to do some type of facilitation. You want to teach financial literacy. Somebody's asking you to facilitate a session on financial literacy. I don't know how to do it. They need to teach me first. It just depends on what's going on, the energy that's coming through, business deal energy, or somebody's asking you to do this on your own. Okay, the Sun card is here. Okay, the sun represents the strength. Yes, the sun represents strength. That's why the strength card energy is underneath. I kind of look at the strength card and the sun card. They pretty much go hand in hand to me, but business deal. So the strength card and the sun card is a business deal that's coming through here. But am I going to get paid a lot, or am I going to get paid? But after tax season. So when tax season runs through, when tax season, or when you file your taxes, you're going to a lot of money. You're going to get a lot of money back. But the reason for it also is the spirit keeps telling me something about a facilitation. So it could be group facilitation. It could be like a group session that you're being asked to organize, but taxes. You're being asked to organize it, but taxes are involved. So I'll give you a perfect example. This is a situation here where if you're being asked to facilitate a session on financial literacy, facilitating a session on financial literacy in the workplace, in whatever in a business deal, whatever, in a conference room, whatever it is, if you're being asked to facilitate those sessions in the workplace and trainings and those kind of things, if you're being asked to do that, then collect taxes. Then somebody wants you to make sure that you're getting your hours in, but you need to calculate your hours precisely so that it could be matched with your tax return. So you need to make sure that it matches with the tax return that you receive after tax season. But how do I check for that, or who do I go to to communicate? Who do I go to communicate that? Okay. Who do I go to communicate that and that information with, that I'm speculating? Who do I go to in order to get that information from them? And a boss or a supervisor or another business partner can give you the heads up or give you the information into when to expect a return, into when to I'll give you, this is an interesting situation. You have one job, or you're in one business deal where you're being asked, precisely to do a session, or you're being asked precisely to facilitate or what do you call it, or do some type of facilitation at a conference meeting and things of that nature. You're asked to want to take the taxes out. But some part of that is tax heavy, because some part of that, this could be a situation you may observe. You may have, at one point, and I don't know how many years ago or a couple of months ago, you may have observed, or weeks ago, you may have observed that another coworker or a business partner may have been asked to do the same thing, but taxes weren't taken out. So when I said that, taxes weren't taken out from that other business partner, that other coworker. So what's happening here, because of a facilitation or a session or a conference, whatever it is, but what's also happening here? I personally didn't know that they do that kind of stuff, but I didn't know that they also count facilitation and sessions being taught, and whatever it is that you're doing in the workplace, whatever is special that you're being asked to do in the workplace, it depends on, or something that you do extra, something that you chuck in more extra hours for. Taxes may get taken from, or taxes may not be getting taken out from. It just depends, but you want to check to see, are taxes being taken out? Are my taxes being taken out because I did this, that, and the third? Or you're observing that something like that also happened to another coworker in the past, or something like that happened to another business partner, and you want to know if you're going to receive the same kind of treatment as that other person did. It could be a Leo that experienced that. It just depends on what's going on. Somebody's giving, you're observing that a Leo's giving some type of facilitation, and you want to know, does that get counted? Is that going to get counted as tax? Is that going to get counted? The facilitation or the session or the teaching, whatever it is, if something like that you're observing that the Leo did, it could be a part of their main job, but I also feel it's something really external that someone is being asked to do, that you're being asked to take part of it. You're being asked to take part of it with them, and you want to know if tax is going to be taken out. Because the reason for the speculation is that because you may be given favoritism, vice versa, or the Leo is in the sense of being given extra hours to do some type of session or facilitation on. It doesn't even only have to be on financial literacy. It could just be extra hours that somebody's asking you to put in, and you want to do the extra hours, but are taxes are those extra hours going to come out of my taxes? It just depends on what's going on. But bargaining. So I'm looking at the Sun card, and you may end up bargaining with that exact issue. Just depends on what's happening there. The Two of Wands energy is in the waiting position. So the Two of Wands pretty much resides with Leo. You may have Aries elements, but they go through the same thing. So when I hit Aries elements, what do you call it? Sag elements. But when I hit Aries, they go through this. They go through the same kind of thing with their workplace, their business partners, their business deal that they're in. They go through the same thing with the taxes and those kind of. They have those same kind of issues. I wouldn't necessarily call it an issue. I would just deem it to be more so of a speculation, because you want to receive a hefty tax return. Or you want your tax return look good. You want your tax return to look good. I don't feel like it's an issue. I just feel like it's more of a speculation. You just want to know, is this going to get taken out? Is it going to stay in? Are they going to deduct this, that, and the third because I did this, that, and the third session facilitation? It just depends on what's going on. But the Two of Wands energy in the waiting position is that a Leo or Aries, whatever fire sign, they could give you the heads up into what to expect, because they did the same thing. I didn't lose any taxes. When I said that, the spirit completed it. I didn't lose any taxes. That's the Leo's voice. That's the Aries voice. I had to do the same exact, they're telling you, I had to do the same exact facilitation. I had to do the same exact thing. I had to do the same exact session, this, that, and the third. Whatever it is you're being asked to do in a business deal, in the workplace, they're trying to pull you aside and tell you, I didn't lose anything. Nothing got deducted because I was asked to do this. Nothing got deducted because I have these extra hours. The spirit emphasizing the extra hours. The spirit emphasizing the extra hours is because you have a specific schedule where you have to clock out, or you have a specific schedule where you're asked to leave the office at a certain time, but you may be staying in late to do a facilitation. You're staying in late or past the hours that you're really supposed to clock out, but Leo helping you with that. So the Two of Wands in the waiting position, a Leo is helping you with that. A Leo's going to make sure, or whatever fire sign, a Leo, an Aries, they're going to give you the heads up. They're going to train you. They're going to tell you that they're going to run it through. They're going to run it through with you, that if you stay here after the hours that you're really supposed to stay here, it's going to be okay. They're not going to take out. They're going to leave in. They're not going to take out. They're going to take out. They're not going to leave in. It just depends on what's going on. But it's a training. It's a training that you, or some type of sit down or some type of interview like situation or a meeting that you need to have with them, so they could give you the ins and outs into what to expect. So it's one or two situations here. It's taxes. It's about taxes. It's about extra hours. It's about it's about facilitation and getting those hours counted for facilitations and sessions and conferences that you're taking with business partners and coworkers. And you want to know if tax is going to be taken out or not. And it doesn't even matter if, somebody could be asking, does it even matter if they do, or does it even matter if they do or they do not? But that's what a Leo said. So the Two of Wands, that could be something that a Leo's trying to tell you. Doesn't matter if it gets taken out, deducted or not. Whatever. It may not even, if they do, it may not even be that much, but don't worry. If they do, it may not even matter that much. But the Two of Wands energy is like, don't worry. That's something that the fire sign energies that could be something that they keep telling you all the time. Okay. The present has the Eight of Swords energy. So the Eight of Swords pretty much resides with The Eight of Swords resides with your energy and that of Aquarius and that of Gemini, but the same thing happens to them. The Eight of Swords in the present, the same thing happens to the Gemini energy, the same thing happens to the Aquarians, and it could be external Libras that you're dealing with here with the Eight of Swords. But I do feel like this is communication, that the Eight of Swords is communication worry. The Eight of Swords is communication that you're trying to do with the Leo, and it implies that you have some kind of feeling of worry. But the feeling of worry going to pass. The feeling of worry is going to pass because of a session, because of a teaching, because of hours in a job. Regular, if you're not being asked to do that necessarily in a workplace, it's just hours and staying in the office late. But they don't want you to do. So the Eight of Swords in the present, they don't want you to do. Leo doesn't want you to do. Aries doesn't want you to do. Who else doesn't want you to do? It could be Gemini, and I don't want them to do. When I hit Gemini, I don't want them to do. I don't want them to do. So you could have, if it's a Gemini energy that you notice, a Gemini energy may put in a lot of hours in the workplace or an Aquarian. A Gemini and I almost said Aries. Yeah, Aries possibly as well. But the spirit is telling me something about a Gemini and possibly even an Aquarian. They may put in more hours than you. Excuse me. They may put in more hours than you and don't want them to do. They may put in, or they're starting, February starting here. They may be, that's why the 2 energy is here. 2 represents February. It's a 2. But the Aquarian energy and the Gemini energy may be putting in more hours, but intentionally. That they're putting in more hours intentionally. Like they're not trying to beat your record of how many hours you put in. They're not trying to beat your records into how many hours you put in some type of business deal and some type of workplace. They're not trying to beat your hours. I just feel like that's something that they're starting to do because they see you do it. That's something that they're starting to do, but it's only because they see or they've witnessed you doing that. So what's happening, they're starting to do that. And the 2 of Wands and the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Swords in the present is that you don't want, particularly a Gemini energy or the Aquarian, whichever, you don't want them to do that. For whatever reason you don't want to see them. So the Gemini and the Aquarian energy, they're trying to put in more hours, but the spirit said particularly a Gemini energy is putting in more hours, or they're trying to put in more hours than you. I see what's happening here. You may have a situation here where you may stay late in the workplace, or if you have business meetings with your business partners or whatever the setting is here. You may stay late and you're having discussions with your boss or your supervisor about being there after hours to do this, that, and the third session and facilitations and conferences or whatever it is, but don't want to see Gemini. So when I ran through those examples, you don't want to see a Gemini, but somebody's trying to change, somebody like Gemini, Aquarius, whatever, somebody's trying to change their schedule so that they can see you more often or match you. Somebody wants to match you in a business deal. They want to match you in the workplace. Whatever setting is, they want to match you. So what's happening with the 8 of Swords in the present, what's happening with that is that you're trying to change their hours. You may be trying to change a Gemini energy's hours, and that could be where, that's why I said worrying with the Leo. And if it's not only your situation, the feeling of worry is coming from communication that you're having between you and Leo's and Aries elements about Gemini. And it could even be about Gemini energy's taxes. But when I say Gemini energy's taxes you want, very interesting. The Gemini energy's taxes you want. The Aquarian energy's taxes you want. But for some reason, if they, I don't know how it works. For some reason, if they're in the workplace as late as you are, you won't get the taxes. If they're in the workplace as after hours, whatever it is, if they're in the workplace as late as you are, if you are in the workplace late for whatever reason, or vice versa, whatever it is, that could be a thought that they have about you. That could be a thought they have about you, and they could have discussed that with a Leo about you. Same kind of situation. If you're in the workplace late and they're trying to match you and be in the workplace after hours, you're like, I'm not going to get I'm not going to Gemini taxes. I'm not going to get the Aquarian energy's taxes, but they were promised to me. So the 8 of Swords in the present, somebody promised a Leo, whichever fire sign energy promised you Gemini and or Aquarian energy taxes. But the 8 of Swords energy is that those air sign elements, particularly, they may be finding out the kind of plan that you have on their taxes. But Gemini listens. So the Eight of Swords, Gemini energy listens. The Aquarian energy listens. They pay attention. They could have pulled the fire sign energies aside to have that conversation. What are you trying to do with my taxes? Why does he or she get to stay in? Why does he or she get to wean off of our taxes? Why does he or she get to be counted? Why does he or she's conference or facilitation get to be counted? And why don't those hours get deducted? Gemini complaining. So the Eight of Swords, Gemini energy could be complaining about that. Aquarian complaining about that. But it's only because they've been eyeballing the reason for it is only because they've been eyeballing the favoritism or the possible favoritism that you've been receiving from Leo. Or have you been eyeballing the favoritism that a Gemini receives from a Leo? Just depends on what's going on. Or the Aquarian energy trying to match you. Are you trying to match their hours? Are you trying? But I keep getting like deductions. Like it has something to do with tax deductions. It has something to do with tax. What's being deducted. The reason why. The reason why something is happening the way it is here is because of deductions on taxes and time spent and time not spent, and it being deducted from something being deducted because of extra hours not deducted or not deducted from extra hours. But I'm trying to save. So the Eight of Swords, I'm trying to save that situation that I have going on with myself, that I have going on for myself. I don't want Gemini. I don't want Gemini and or Aquarius. I don't want them to. I don't want them to receive. I'm trying to receive. I see what's happening here. This is really interesting. This is this is a tax tie that a business deal or workplace has. But what's happening here? I keep getting this feeling of weaning. Are you weaning off of the external air sign elements taxes? But what's happening with it is that what's happening with it, something that's why they're trying to change to match something that's going on with your schedule, whatever it is. The reason for why something is happening the way it is here also is because something that they either their hours, something that they don't something that they don't get something that they don't get accounted for, or something that's being taken out of their tax, whatever it is, something that's being deducted from them, you receive, like something that could be what they're trying to change. I don't know how it works. It's giving me really heavy financial terminologies here that I'm trying to work. The Spirit's trying to help me with this kind of situation where something that is being deducted from their tax return, like something that's being deducted from them. I keep feeling you receive. Something that's being deducted from them, you receive it. Like you receive it. Something that's being reduced from them, you receive. They may get cut. Somebody may cut 1 or 2 hours from them, but those hours that are being cut from the air sign energies, the external air sign elements, they become your hours. That's a discussion that you're trying to have with the fire sign energy. They become your hours. Is somebody trying to cut some type of hour from you to give to Gemini? Somebody could be trying to cut some type of hours situation that you have going on that you deem to be good, and they're trying to give that to the Gemini energy. The Gemini energy could have been aware of some type of tactic, or the Aquarian, those elements could have been aware of some type of tactic that you have, so trying to save ass. The Eight of Swords, they realize that, so they're trying to save their ass in that situation because they're trying to beat you to a tactic that you formulated on them with their taxes and their hours and their time, whatever it is. Well, the future has the Nine of Swords energy, okay? So the future has the Nine of Swords there. And your instincts has the Four of Pentacles energy. Four of Pentacles pretty much resides with, it could be earth sign energies that you have involved here. But I feel heavily, money. I feel heavily but don't want to have to do this. The Four of Pentacles and the instincts, I don't want to have to do this. It's Four of Pentacles, so it implies I don't want to have to save money. That's a Gemini's thought. I don't want to have to save money. That's a Gemini's thought. That's your thought that you have with the Four of Pentacles being in the instincts. I don't want to have to crutch on. I don't want to have to have a savings account. I don't want to have to do that. I just want to be able to spend money willy-nilly. But Gemini is talking. So the Eight of Swords, the Gemini energy is talking about that. The Gemini energy is talking about that. They're trying to beat you. They're trying to beat you to some type of private. They're trying to beat you to some type of private setup that you discuss with the fire sign energies only for you to have. The air sign elements are trying to beat you to that. It just depends on what's going on. But something doesn't matter also. So the Two of Wands energy with the Eight of Swords, something doesn't matter also. And that could be the voice, Leo. That could be the voice of a Leo. That could be whatever fire sign energy you have tied to you here. That could be the voice of an Aries. That could be whatever fire sign. That could be the voice of the fire. But the fire sign energies are the foundation to what's happening here, which is why they're so well versed in what they're already doing. Which is what them being well versed is them trying to safeguard you. You going to them as a mentor. You going to the fire sign because they have that's fire energy. That's their energy. But what's happening, because they're the foundation, they could be bosses, supervisors, or they could be if it's a business deal situation, they're the head of a business deal here, and how taxes are getting dispersed and deductions and hours and things of that nature. But something doesn't matter. So deductions and hours and those kind of things, something doesn't matter. But for some reason it does matter to you. It matters to you because somebody doesn't think it should. It matters to you because of favoritism. And one reason why it matters to you heavily is because of favoritism. One reason why it matters to the Gemini and or the Aquarian, one reason why it matters to them so heavily is because of favoritism taken away. It matters to them because they don't want to lose favoritism. They don't want favoritism taken away from them. The air sign elements, one element here, the air sign elements, external, could also be on your side, but that's what the fire sign said. So the Two of Wands, that's what the fire sign energy said. But for some reason with the Eight of Swords, you don't care, or you don't see it, or you don't deem it to be that way. You may want things to roll. You may want things to roll precisely the way you want them to roll. And that's some type of discussion that you need to have with the fire sign energies, bosses, head of business deal, whatever it is the fire sign energies are to you. They're responsible for giving you some type of training. You don't want anything deducted from the extra hours of a training that you put in sessions and financial literacy, whatever it is that they do. The Gemini and the Aquarian energy does the same kind of thing, but you don't want them to match you. You don't want them to figure out a way to be in the workplace or in a business deal in a conference room at hours hours that you're in the workplace. Hours that you stay late in the office in whatever setting, whatever those hours are, you don't want them to see you when they're that late, because the Eight of Swords energy is here because those external air sign elements may end up complaining about that. They may end up complaining to a boss about that or another coworker about that. Why are you receiving? But one element about it is that they don't know that you're receiving part of the taxes. They don't know that you They don't know that whatever it is being deducted from them you're getting, or vice versa. It just depends on what's going on, and that could be something that you realize that I'm well versed in. That's something that you yourself are well versed in. That's just something that you're well versed in, separate from them. But the Four of Pentacles and the instincts could also be the energy of Earth sign. Like it could also, I want to work with. So that's why I said the Four of Pentacles and the instincts. You want to work with Taurus. You want to work with Capricorn. You want Virgo. You want to work with whichever one of the Earth signs you want to work with them. And that could be a discussion. But something gets deducted from them. So the Four of Pentacles, something may be getting deducted from them. Something could be getting because of a W-2 or W-9, a W-19, whatever it is. Something could be getting deducted from them because lost hours. Something could be getting deducted from them all the time because of lost hours. And the Earth sign energy goes to you. The Earth sign energy lost hours goes to you. The Earth sign energy lost Gemini. The Earth sign energy lost hours may end up going to a Gemini energy. But the Earth sign, no care. The Earth sign energy or energies or whichever Earth sign energies may not care about that. They may not care about that. This depends on what's going on. But you do want to work with them. But something doesn't. So you do want to work with the Earth signs, but something doesn't matter. Something doesn't matter to them as Gemini. Something doesn't matter to them as much as it does to the Gemini or the Aquarian. And that's a discussion that you have with the fire sign energies. So the battle that you have between Gemini and Aquarian, the fire sign energies don't understand. But one part of that conversation could Capricorn taxes. One part of that conversation could also be about a Capricorn energy's tax return or Capricorn energy's taxes. are you going to get part of? Because I'll give you a perfect example. This is a situation here where you could have gotten asked to do some type of facilitation, but put in more hours. Like, you could have been asked to do some type of facilitation, or like a session, or do some type of group partnership with the Capricorn, whatever, or sign the Taurus, whatever. But taxes, something gets deducted from. So every time I say it, something gets deducted from them. But whatever is that you could have done something similar, but this is like, okay, I'm trying to understand this. This is a situation here where you did some type of partnership with one of the earth sign energies, but for the same amount of time, but I put in more hours. You did it, but for the same amount of time. But the spirit is saying that you put in more hours. So whatever it is that you did for a certain amount of time with the earth sign energies, they could have left early, they could have went somewhere else, but you could have chuck in more hours after it, whatever it is that you did with the earth sign. You could have put in more hours than them, but I wean off of. So when I said I wean off of something that the earth sign energy have. You know what I mean? So you could have, I'll give you a perfect example. This is in the workplace. You're being asked to do some type of facilitation with Capricorn or Taurus, whatever it is, but something's going on. So I get worried also. So as I'm going on this example, something is potentially worrying you for some reason. I'm just putting in my charger. Something is potentially worrying you because someone could be finding out that some part of their tax return is going to you, but it keeps giving me this feeling. The reason for it is because of lost hours. But somebody's lost hours, Gemini. Somebody's lost hours are going to a Gemini. Somebody's lost hours are going to you. But it's through the taxes or some type of deduction on the tax return. But you had that conversation because of you had that conversation with a boss already, and how to safeguard, and Eight of Swords, how to protect you. You're raking your brain. You're starting to worry about that. But something doesn't matter to the earth sign. You may decide that something may not even matter to you. Why are you worrying about that? Fire sign voice. Why are you worrying about that? That's the fire sign energy's voice. That's the fire sign energy's voice. So something that's happening to the earth sign. Something that a thought that you have about the earth sign could also be happening to you because of the air signs, the external air sign, or something interesting, some type of worry that you have with your hours and taxes, that if it's not happening to the earth sign energy only, that's a worry that you just have about yourself. You need to pull the fire sign energies aside to have that exact conversation. I was in late. I know the earth sign energy was there longer than me, but how can I know they came in earlier than me, this, that, and the third. How can I fix this situation so I don't miss out on pay? So I don't get something reducted from my return, whatever. How do I fix that? How do I fix that? No, I know I came in late. How do I save those missing hours? How do I regenerate that missing time? How do I generate that missing time? How do I get that from my schedule? How do I get that missing time put right back into my return so that I can file for those hours? So that they can follow me for that time. I know I wasn't there, but something isn't fair. So I'm looking at the Two of Wands energy. Something that you're trying to do there may also not be fair for some reason. Something about it may not be fair. So either it's not fair. Either it's not fair to the earth sign. You're saying it's not fair to yourself, or some Gemini. Something could also not be fair to the Gemini and or the Aquarian. But they may not, something about them, they also may not realize some type of tactic here also. They don't realize, or the earth sign energy doesn't. Or the earth sign energy is finding out about what boss is doing. Or earth sign energy is using their intuition about what a boss is doing to them, what they're doing to you, whatever. Or what a boss is doing in a workplace, period. But make something obvious. So when I say that a boss or supervisor or whoever, somebody makes something really obvious in an environment here. In some type of environment. So there's a lot of tax and workplace and business deal energy that's coming through. I don't know. This could also be love. I don't know if love is involved in this as well. But love could be intertwined because of earth sign. Love could be intertwined in here as well because of earth sign energy. Because of earth sign, or how you feel, Capricorn. How you feel about a Capricorn. How you feel about someone. It doesn't even only have to be love, like heavy love. How you feel about working with someone. How you feel how you feel about working with someone. You really like somebody. You really like Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. You really like the earth signs. You really like them, but the spirit is not heavy. Love is not heavy here, or just some type of small liking that you have, somebody you're trying to take from. You have some type of interesting liking with someone that you're trying to take something from. But the taking something is not a big deal. The taking something from, the idea of it, it's not necessarily a big deal. It's not necessarily a big deal, and that could be a thought a fire sign has. That's a thought that you have. That's a thought that the earth sign energy doesn't care. Every time I hit earth sign energy, they don't care about something that you're trying to do heavily here, something that you're trying to safeguard heavily, they may not care about. But our love also. So when I said that someone's going on with our love, like you think someone doesn't care about some type of, I guess something is also imaginary. So when I said our love, something is also imaginary. Are you fantasizing about earth sign, vice versa? Or is that something that the external air sign do with you all the time? That could be something that the external air sign elements do with you all the time, vice versa. Somebody fantasizes, or it could be a real feeling. Somebody also fantasizes about a love that creating. Are you fantasizing about some type of love feeling that you have for earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo? Are you fantasizing about a love that you want to have with them? Whatever it is. You could have asked to be closer to the earth sign for whatever reason. That's why I said, but looking strange to fire signs. So be asking to be closer to the earth sign. Something about it is looking strange to the fire sign energies for some reason. Because the way something is here, I see what's going on here. This is funny. Some part of it is funny to me. I'm going to tell you why. This is really interesting. It's bringing me back to the feeling of the hours. What's happening I don't know, something about it is funny. What's happening with this is that I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to put this, I have it in my head. Spirit put it in my brain for me to break it down precisely. Okay, this is a situation here where you're being given certain days, like, okay, we'll give you an example. You're being given certain days. The same analogy, what I'm going to say may reside with the external air signs and craziness that they do with you also. But what's happening here, you're being given certain days, but earth sign not there. That's what I'm trying to get to. You're being given certain days to work. You know what I mean? You're being given, you are here or not. You're being given certain days to work, like a set schedule, but for some reason the earth sign energies aren't there. So what's happening, want to be closer to, what's happening with it? For whatever reason, the earth sign energies aren't there, or it's the air signs, whatever it is. And talking to the fire sign energies or the external air sign want to be closer to Capricorn. You're talking to them about wanting to be closer to the Capricorn, particularly the Capricorn. It could be Taurus or whatever earth sign energy that you have going on there. You're talking to them, you're being given a set schedule, but they may not have been given the same hours and days as you want to be closer to. So every time I go on the example, you want to be closer to them, but what's the reason why it's funny? The reason why it's funny is because of someone's that's going on with it that is funny, or the reason why I laugh is because somebody here think it's funny. So the reason why I laugh is because somebody here, so one of these elements here think that it's funny. Somebody thinks that it's funny. So that's why I was laughing, because somebody's energy here thinks that something is funny, because the reason why you want to be closer to them, but the reason why you want to be closer to the comparison also. So it also has to do with some type of comparison, but it's some type of subconscious, the Eight of Swords energy, some type of subconscious comparison that you're more so Capricorn. So when I said that, it's more so a Capricorn energy that you're subconsciously doing that with. That's why I want to be closer to. So when I said, that's why it's funny. That's why I said, that's why I want to be closer to. You want to, for some reason, you're trying to subconsciously make some type of comparison between you and that person, because it has something to do with a facilitation. It has something to do with hours. Just liking someone. It has something to do with just liking someone. It has something to do with hours and taxes, and you're having these somebody doesn't understand. You're trying to morph the reason into why you're trying to be with somebody closely, and you're talking to the fire sign energy, they don't understand. You're talking to the fire sign energy, they don't understand your motive. Like you have some type of interesting motive that not telling them. You have some type of interesting motive that you're not explaining to the fire sign energies, but starting to catch on. So the Eight of Swords with the Two of Wands, they're starting to catch on. they're starting to catch on. Or the same thing, the same way you move with the earth sign, or the thought you have between you and the earth sign energies, like that is the same way, or movement that you may also have with the Gemini energy and the Aquarian. Subconscious comparing. So when I said that, that's something to do with some type of subconscious comparison that you're trying to do, but somebody doesn't have the same, you work a certain amount of hours, but you want to change your hours to make comparisons. You want to change your hours so that they match someone else's hours, so that you can make some type of subconscious comparison. Their work ethic. You want to make some type of subconscious comparison to somebody's work ethic here for some reason. Or you doing that with the air signs, or the fire signs observe that you do that with the air signs. You're trying to do that with the earth sign energies. That's why somebody doesn't understand motive. Somebody doesn't understand your motive. Why do you want to switch your hours to match? I keep getting Gemini also. Why do you want to switch your hours to match Gemini? Why do you want to switch your hours to be close to Capricorn, Taurus? Why do you want to I keep getting subconscious comparing, like subconscious comparison making that you're doing inside of your head. Whatever. But somebody doesn't realize that that's a tactic that you're trying to do. And someone also, you're not outwardly, it's subconscious. You're not outwardly telling someone, like a boss or supervisor, you're not outwardly, or a business deal, you're not outwardly telling someone that that's what you want to do. You're not outwardly telling them that. It's subconscious, so it's not showing, but you're trying to morph it into a reason for taxes. You're trying to morph it into a reason to have somebody's tax return, match yours, whatever it is. But that's not that could be part of it, yes. But the other reason you like someone, the other reason also is that you like somebody. But you like them in an interesting way, and in subconscious comparisons, and something that's interesting that the fire sign energies think that you're trying to do there. I mean, it's funny. Like, some part of it is funny for some reason. The accomplishment has the Page of Pentacles energy here. So the Page of Pentacles represents business deal. It's business deal energy. It's also that of a younger earth sign. They don't have to be younger than you. I keep getting subconscious comparison. Are they making subconscious Are they subconsciously comparing themselves to you? I mean, that could be. I don't feel like they're. That's what I said. They don't care, and this, that, and the third. I don't feel like they're doing that. I feel like that's something that you're. The Page of Pentacles doesn't even have to be a younger earth sign. It could be the Page of Pentacles energy could just be the energy of a job, business deal, etc. But I feel like I keep getting subconscious comparing you, something that you're doing, some type of movement that you have here. Somebody deems it to be some type of subconscious comparison that you're making with someone. You know, with Page of Pentacles, they could be younger than you. Or they could be in the same, they could be in the same age group as you. You know, they could be in the same, they could be someone, I'll give you a perfect example. Someone, if they're older than you, you're looking at them, you may be deeming them to be younger than you, or they literally could be they literally could be younger than you, but you comparing yourself to them subconsciously. Whatever it is, but it has something to do with taxes and favoritism, or just liking somebody. But I'm not supposed to. Just liking someone, you're not supposed to. Someone may have told you, that's why I said the fire sign, somebody doesn't understand, and this, that, and the third. Somebody may have told you, to keep you separate. Somebody may have given you a separate schedule or separate hours. Realize that you like someone. So when I said somebody's realizing that you like someone, somebody like in a workplace, or a fire sign in a workplace or business deal, whatever the setting. That's why the Eight of Swords energy trying to fix. Eight of Swords in the present, you're trying to fix it mystically. You may be trying to fix something mystically, or not, or literally have a conversation how to get her back, how to get him or her back somewhere with me. And it could be the earth sign energy, how to get him or her to have the same schedule as me. You're younger than you, they could be showing up like this, and they're older than you, and you want to be near them. It just depends. Or it's just the Page of Pentacles is just a workplace environment where craziness is happening. It's just a workplace environment also where craziness is happening in the workplace, you know. And it depends on what's going on. And somebody not understanding. The success card is right next to, the sun is right next to the Page of Pentacles. But don't understand something. So either that's a thought that you have about they don't understand something, or it's them singular by themselves. You may not understand something that is surrounding them. There's that. Or they by themselves don't what you're doing. They by themselves don't understand what you're trying to do. But the reason for it, taxes also, the reason for it is taxes. The reason you want to be closer to, the reason for it is some type of action that you're taking in February. They're going to realize that you're trying to be closer, something that you're doing that is subconscious, something that you're doing that is because it's turning subconscious and it's becoming outward. They notice it's turning subconscious and it's becoming outward. It's something that you're starting to do outwardly towards them, that just think it's weird. When I said it, they think something is weird that you're doing. But it's going from subconscious to outward, and you acting on it. You're starting to act on it. It could just be a feeling that you have about somebody. It could just be a feeling or a thought that you have about someone. But they're gonna start realizing that something is strange or something is weird. All right. That could also be that I don't know. It's some type of action that you're taking that somebody thinks it's funny. The Queen of Swords is a boss that observes how you move with this person or whatever it is. The Queen of Swords energy is in the spiritual self, right next to the Two of Wands. So this could be the end. That's why it's a Gemini female. It could be a Gemini female external. It could be an Aquarian female, also male. Aquarian male, female. Gemini female energies external. Could be Gemini male could be showing up like a female. Effeminate men effeminate air sign men could be external. If external effeminate air sign men could be showing up like a Queen of Swords. Effeminate energies there, like effeminate air sign males could be showing up like this in yours, but don't understand them. So the Two of Wands right next to them, whether they're a Gemini female, they could be an Aquarian female, they could be an Aquarian male, they could be in an Aquarian female. Don't understand. You don't understand all these air sign elements. Like you don't understand, but they're liking for somebody. So when I said it, they're liking for someone. They're liking for the Page of Pentacles. They're whatever it is. They're liking for fire sign. They're business deal. You may not understand a business deal that external air sign elements are in with fire sign energies. But how they get in that kind of you may be trying to understand how they get in that kind of communication. How they get in that kind of business deal, how they get in that kind of communication with the fire, but it's my fault. So whatever kind of situation or dealing, the external Queen of Swords energies or King of Swords energies, those air sign elements external, whatever it is that they're in, with you don't understand. Whatever it is that they're doing business deal wise with fire signs, that the fire sign energies could be attached to the Page of Pentacles. Don't understand that. The fire sign energies could be attached to the Page of Pentacles. Something there you don't understand. But one element with the Queen of Swords energies or Male of Swords energies, King of Swords energies coming off of the Queen of Swords because somebody's embodying very effeminate vibes. Aquarian. Somebody's embodying very effeminate vibes. You don't understand why. You don't understand why how they end up dealing with the fire sign energies in that way. Or this element here could also be you. You could be embodying, whether you're a man or a woman, you could be embodying Queen of Swords. Don't understand you. Someone doesn't understand you. Somebody doesn't understand somebody doesn't understand your movements with Page of Pentacles, but also older. So the Page of Pentacles also older than you. Page of Pentacles could also be younger. And you don't understand why external Queen of Swords energies want to be with this person. But they're in a business deal. So they could be trying to explain to you, I'm in a business deal with the Earth Sign Energies partners. I'm in a business deal. I'm in a business deal with a Sagittarius and Aries and Leo elements that are attached to Page of Pentacles energy. That's the voice of an external Aquarian energy, whether they're male or female or Gemini. You don't understand it. That's why the Eight of Swords is in the present. Or this could be you. Like I said, this could also be you. With the Eight of Swords, revealing your feeling. This could also be you. You want to reveal your feeling. So you want to reveal some type of feeling that you have about Page of Pentacles, but they already know. You want to reveal a feeling, but the Page of Pentacles energy already knows how you feel about them. And you're acting out on the feeling, whatever tax, love, some type of, I was also getting an imaginary feeling of love. Somebody has some type of imaginary, or somebody could be developing an imaginary feeling of love towards you or towards somebody else, or you're the outside looking in. That's what an Aquarian energy is doing with Capricorn. That's what a Gemini is doing with Capricorn. That's what Gemini keeps doing. That's what a Page of Pentacles does with Gemini. But whatever somebody's doing, or you're doing with either one of those elements, somebody's doing it subconsciously. But business and tax and subconscious comparisons are like the undertone of why something is the way it is here. Very interesting. The mentality, there's your Queen of Pentacles. There's your Queen of Pentacles energy. You got Page of Pentacles energy, younger than you, but I feel that way. So younger than you feel that way. But Queen of Pentacles energy is here in the mentality. That's why I said holding on to them and wanting to work with them and comparing yourself to them, whatever it is. Whatever it is that's happening. But I keep feeling this feeling. I feel younger. I feel older. I feel whatever it is. Someone could be older than you. You feel older than. Someone could just be older than you and you feel older than them. With the Four of Pentacles. Because it's the way, it could be the way, it's either the way fire sign energies observe them to be in comparison with you. Or it's just the way how I observe them. It could also just be the way you observe them. So you could be older. You could be older than a Queen of Pentacles energy. You could be whatever, Capricorn female, Taurus female, Virgo. You could be older than them, but deem them to be older. You could be older than them, but something about them heavily mature. So you could be older than them, but something about them is heavily mature. They could be younger, but they're heavily mature. But there's also a situation here where they could also be younger than you. They could also, I did that example already. They could be older than you and you feel, they could be older than you and you feel more, but still not. They could be older, they could be older than you. They could be older than you and you may feel smarter than. They could be older than you and you feel smarter than one of them. They could be older than you and you feel smarter than them. That could be a conversation that you had, Gemini. That could have been a conversation that you had with a Gemini, or they're younger than you and feel smaller than. They're younger than you and you feel younger, older than you. You feel whatever kind of feeling you're feeling with someone that's older and younger. They're younger than you and you feel like smaller than, or you feel they're smarter than you if they're younger than you. Whatever it is, it just depends on what's going on. But listen too. So I'm looking at the Queen of Pentacles. Someone's going on listening to them. Like you should listen to them. Like that could be something that you already do. You may listen to them, or the air sign don't. The air sign elements may not listen to them, and they could be older than them. They could be older, vice versa. They're older than them. They're younger than them. They're younger than someone, Gemini. One element here, they could also be younger than some type of Gemini energy here also, but smarter. But they're also smarter. That's why I said whatever it is that the spirit is allowing me to explain. All of it has to do with some type of subconscious comparison. Like you could be interacting with someone that is older than you, but better. You could be interacting with someone that is older than you, but you deem yourself to be better than that person subconsciously, or not. Whatever it is. Oh, now I understand. Earlier on in the reading, the when I was laughing, earlier on in the reading when I was getting the changing the schedule so you could compare. The changing of the schedule is so that you could compare yourself to someone that is. So, the subconscious comparing is coming from you trying to change your schedule. That somebody may have, the Queen of Pentacles may have a different schedule than you, but they could be older than you. But for some reason, some part of you is like, I'm more well versed than her in this area of life. I'm more well versed than her in this area. So what's happening with it is that the subconscious comparison. The changing the schedule is coming is so that you can do exactly that with someone. If you're younger than them, it's so that you can do it with someone that is older than you. Someone could be doing that to you, or someone that is younger than you. Someone that is younger than you could be doing that as well. But I get Gemini, so when I say that, that's something that the Gemini energy is doing, subconsciously or outwardly, whatever it is. But it's subconscious, so it's like somebody wants to make comparisons with someone that's older than them. Somebody wants to make comparisons with someone that's younger than them. I want to prove I'm younger than him or her, but I want to prove that I'm more well versed. I'm younger than him or her, but I want to prove that I'm more well versed in this area than he or she. Whatever it is. And that's a thought that the air sign elements have, Capricorn. That's a thought air sign elements have with Capricorn. Whatever earth sign female, Taurus female, a Virgo female. That's a thought the Queen of Swords energies has. This could be you. That's a thought that this person has with you, vice versa. In the workplace, in the business deal, whatever the setting is that is happening in. And why you want to change hours? Why somebody want to change hours? Gemini trying to change hours to be closer to you, to make subconscious comparisons to you. Are you doing it? You're doing that with Queen of Pentacles, You're doing that with Aquarian, or they're doing that with you, whether they're male or female. Somebody's doing that constantly with somebody for some reason. Or you just like somebody. There's this element of just liking someone. You just like them, but you want to prove also. You want to prove some type of interesting movement that you have going on here with wanting to prove your liking to someone. You want to prove it. Something that's interesting about the way you want to do that. What's changing is the Six of Swords energy. So Six of Swords is in the changing position here, but idea. So the Six of Swords is in the changing position because it has something to do with gathering ideas. It has something to do with gathering ideas and what to do. It's your energy. Gathering ideas. You may no longer need to gather ideas. Queen of Pentacles. You may no longer need to gather ideas about the Queen of Pentacles or from the Queen of Pentacles. You don't need to do that anymore, but got what I needed. So this is Swords in the changing position. You may have gotten what you needed from this person. That could be why you asked to be closer to them. You may have gotten what you needed from somebody. You could have gotten what you needed. Or the Queen of Swords energy's external could have gotten what they needed from the Queen of Pentacles energy. Because of the fire sign. Whatever it is. Or vice versa. Somebody, Queen of Swords could have gotten the Gemini, whoever. Somebody got what they needed from someone and dipped. Somebody could just gotten what they needed from someone and just dipped. Just disappeared. You did that with external Queen of Swords or King of Swords. You did that with Queen of Pentacles, one of the Queen of Pentacles energies. Or did they do that with you? Did they do that with you? Whatever it is. Or they did that with external. You could be on the outside looking into that's how they operate with Queen of Swords. Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Swords operate with each other like that all the time. They operate with somebody just goes and gets what they need and disappears. Whatever it is, or that is something that you're doing. But subconsciously, I keep getting that's something that you're doing, but you're also doing that one situation subconsciously. Subconsciously. Key word is subconscious. The Page of Wands energy is in the Nine of Swords, okay? In the Nine of Swords. The Page of Wands is in the resolution going towards the Nine of Swords energy. But what they said, so the Page of Wands could be younger fire signs. What they said, what they did, what they know, what they heard, whatever it is. It's what they said. The Nine of Swords is like communication, or the Nine of Swords is a thought. The Nine of Swords is also a thought that you have. The Nine of Swords is a thought. But the Page of Wands energy, you yourself, it could be a younger fire sign. That's why I said Leos and Aries. That could be a younger fire sign energy that you were interacting with. And the subconscious comparison could be something that you do with them. Like I said, this could be a situation here where you could have a boss you could be younger, okay, you could be older than a boss. And something like that could be happening with you. With comparisons and things. You can have a boss that's old. You can have a boss that is same age bracket. You have a boss that is like in the same age bracket as you. And the subconscious, the Nine of Swords is going to sleep at night and thinking about that. Why am I not the head of this organization? Why am I not the head of this organization? Why am I not the head of this workplace? Whatever it is. And that could be a thought that you have, you know. Or the Page of Wands is something that they said. Queen of Pentacles. It's something that the Page of Pentacles. It's something that it's something that the Page of Wands said about the Queen of Pentacles. And it's a Nine of Swords and making me feel interesting. The Nine of Swords is in the future. It's something that they said, or something. That's why I said comparison. Something that okay. Something that the Page of Wands energy said about making me feel weird. Like something that the Page of Wands energy said about the Queen of Pentacles, whichever one of these Pentacles energy, something that they said about the Queen of Pentacles and making me scared. It's making you scared, or making you nervous, making you worry, making you compare. It's all making you compare yourself to them. But it's subconscious, so it could be constructive criticism that somebody's trying to give you. But they're subconsciously they're comparing. You could tell that they're comparing you to somebody else, but trying to stop that. So the Page of Wands going towards I see what's happening here also. This could be like a one time. this could have been like a one-time situation that you had. This could be like a one-time situation that you had with someone. Again, facilitation. It's a one-time facilitation that you had with someone, but what's happening here with it is that they may be comparing you, whoever you did some sort of facilitation or a group thing with, they're comparing you to that person. They may be comparing you to that person, but what's happening, but thought everything was good. So when I said that, you may have thought everything was good, but something interesting, somebody could have relayed that you didn't want to hear. Somebody could have also relayed something to you that you didn't want to hear. And it could be constructive criticism, things of that nature. Either with someone that is younger than you, or it's with someone that's younger than you or older than you, or you're older, whatever it is. But somebody made that rub you the wrong way. Somebody made some type of interesting comparison that rub you the wrong way. And what's happening here, the Nine of Swords energy, what's happening here can be, you may not see that person that you did the meeting with anymore. But what's happening here is that you're trying to figure out a way, you're trying to figure out a way to bring yourself back in the same environment with that person. So fix something, so that you can fix something. Because whatever it is that you need to fix is giving you like a Nine of Swords energy. Something that somebody said. Something that somebody said that's rubbing you the wrong way. Some type of comparison that somebody made, but it's not a big deal. So it's bringing me back to, it's not a big deal. Like, it's not a big deal. Whatever it is, it's not a big deal. And some part of it was funny also. So it's not a big deal. Like, somebody made me like, why are you hell bent? You may be a comparison. You're really hell-bent about a comparison. You're hell-bent about some type of comparison-like situation that's happening here. Or somebody else external is hell-bent about some type of comparison that was made with them with someone else external. And it's driving somebody crazy. Whatever it is. It could be behind the scenes, subconsciously driving somebody crazy. Is it driving the Queen of Pentacles energy crazy? I'm being compared to. Somebody could be just compare and whatever level of life somebody in whatever environment this is in, somebody's doing that. And the Nine of Swords, I don't understand. Nine of Swords, you don't understand. You don't understand. So you want to tweak your schedule. Somebody told you one thing. You want to tweak your schedule so it could run into somebody else's, so that you can fix whatever's giving you Nine of Swords energy. But petty. So something about that is also petty. Okay? Something about that, or something, the fire sign energies observe that you're doing that with Queen of Swords and it's petty. Whatever. For whatever reason, it's happening like that, in tax papers. And one element here is also because of some deductions and tax and returns and money and favoritism and subconscious comparisons and whatever it is. But some element about it is petty. That could have been why I was laughing earlier. Some element about it was also petty. I don't know. Something's interesting. Or you just like somebody. The Page of Wands, but they also do. Somebody that you like, the Page of Wands also likes. The Page of Wands energy also likes someone that you like. And something about that making you uncomfortable. Something about that could be making you uncomfortable because you want to maintain, this could be a situation here where you want to maintain a specific schedule with someone so you can see them all the time. Somebody's trying to change. And when I said that, somebody's trying to change that. So to put themselves in a situation where they're closer to someone that they like, that you also like. That's why Eight of Swords energy is there also. Whatever it is. It's interesting. All right, let's look for outcome here, Libra. Here's the Hierophant. Here's the sign of Taurus. It could be Taurus female. It could just be, but they embody. So when I said Taurus female or Hierophant energy period, the Queen of Pentacles embodies that. Like Hierophant is usually, the Hierophant implies like a spiritual guru of some kind, a spiritualist. And that could be why you want to be closer to that person. Gemini want to be closer to that person. Whatever it is. You could have been working, you could have been in a situation, you could have been working one-on-one with Gemini and Aquarian, but not anymore. So you may not want to do that anymore. You want somebody else in. You want somebody else in. And that could be something that external air sign elements are trying to stop for some reason, whatever it is. But the one reason for it is to compare. Like, it's interesting. One reason for it is also to compare with the Hierophant energy, or it's just a Taurus. It's just a sign of Taurus that likes them. The sign of Taurus, if it's a Taurus, they like an external Queen of Pentacles. They like Capricorn, they like Virgo, but still, they still like Capricorn. They still like external Virgo. They still like them. They still like them. And the Eight of Swords, something about them still, you heard. Something about them still liking that person, you also heard. You also heard that. You also heard it. So the way something is moving here, the way the comparisons don't only have to be work. The comparisons beauty. The comparisons could also be beauty. In whatever situation, the comparisons could be beauty, looks, what do you call it? Expertise, whatever it is, and whatever the environment is here, you know, whatever. All right, that's that. All right, let me know how it resonates, Libra. Be well. Take care. Bye.